Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation, the blue team presentation, me and my colleagues Sameer and Faris. The agenda of this presentation is first, collect requirements, second, define scope, third, create work breakdown structure, the WBS. Collect requirements. Let's have an overview about it. Collect requirements is the process where we document what the customer requires out of the project. The resultant documents should reflect both the project and product requirements and should include all stakeholders' expectations. Every stakeholders will judge the project if the project succeed or failed by his expectation and by his requirement. The project success is directly impacted by the efficiency of capturing and managing these requirements. What is a requirement? Requirement is a condition or capability that must be met or possessed by a system, product, service, result, or component to satisfy a contract, standard, specification, or other formally imposed documents. Requirements include the quantified and documented needs, wants, and expectations of the sponsor, customer, or other stakeholders. The project requirements could include organizations' business requirements, or the project manager requirements, or the project delivery criteria, etc. Collect requirements. The inputs of the collect requirements is a project charter, project management plan, including a scope management plan, requirements management plan, stakeholders engagement plan. Also, the third is the project documents, which includes assumption log, lessons learned register, stakeholder register. The fourth input is business documents, which includes business case. The fifth is agreements. Sixth is enterprise environmental factors. Seven is organizational process assets. The tools and techniques are used here is expert judgment, data gathering, which includes brainstorming, interviews, focus groups, questionnaires or surveys, benchmarking, marking. Third is data analysis, like document analysis. Fourth, decision making. There are two ways of decision making, which are voting and multi-criteria decision analysis. Five is data representations, like affinity diagrams or mind mapping. Sixth is interpersonal and team skills, including nominal group techniques, observation and conversation, also facilitations. Seven, the context diagram, aids and prototypes. The outputs would be requirements documentation and requirements traceability matrix. Let's talk about the tools and techniques. First, expert judgment. An expertise should be considered from individuals or groups with specialized knowledge or training in the following topics: business analysis, requirements elicitation, requirements analysis, requirements documentation, project requirements in previous similar project, diagramming techniques, facilitation, and conflict management. The second way is data gathering. First, we have brainstorming. It's a technique used to generate and collect multiple ideas related to the project and requirements. Requirements. The discussion is not allowed in the data gather in the brainstorming. It could be discussed in the workshop. Second, we have interviews, formal or informal approach to collect information from stakeholders by talking to them directly. Third, we have focus groups. Focus groups bring together qualified stakeholders and subject matter experts to learn about their expectations. The difference between interviews And focus groups interviews we have is between two people. When I ask and when answer. Focus group, there are some discussions in the focus groups. Fourth, we have surveys. Five, we have benchmarking, which is comparing actual or brand project to identify best practices and generate ideas, which means we need to benefits from other people experience. Decision making. First, in decision making, we have voting, which is a collective decision making techniques and an assessment process having multiple alternatives with an expected outcome in the form of the future actions. There are four types, which are unanimity, which is which means that the decision has been agreed by all the group. Second, you have majority, which means that the decision have been agreed on by the more than 50% of the group. Plurality, which means the decision that the larger block agree on, which means there are let's say there are 3 or 4 decisions. Then when the 40% agreed in the first decision, that means that the majority agreed in the first 40% agreed in the first decision. And there's autocratic, which one individual takes responsibility for making the decision. There are also multi-criteria decision making, is a technique that uses a decision matrix to provide a systematic analytical approach for establishing criteria such as risk levels, uncertainty, and violation. We have here an example. Let's say we have 4 automobiles to choose between. We have 5 ways to choose. First, we have price. Second, we have safety. Third, we have performance. Fourth, we have fuel consumption. Fifth, we have maintenance costs. The weights are clear here in the end. For the price, 20%. For safety, is 10%. For performance, is 25%. For fuel consumption, it's 25%, and maintenance cost is 20%. We rent the options from 100, then multiply it to the weight. For example, here the auto one get 100% in price, 100% in safety, 80 in performance, 100 in fuel consumption, maintenance, and 100 maintenance costs. We multiply it by the weights, so we get the total 95%. Auto 2, we have 80, 50, 20, 60, 80. We multiply it by the weights here in the end. We will get 57%. Auto 3, Auto 4. After we finish, we have the higher total. If we don't have it, we have the second higher, the third higher, and the last, the worst option is Auto 2, while the best is Auto 1. Requirements traceability matrix. The requirements traceability matrix helps trace every requirement to its source and then prove that that was delivered. It links requirements to business objectives, therapy, confirming their values to the project. It also can trace it to stakeholders' requests. We have here an example for our project, the constraints of our project. We put the name of the project, the cost center, and the project description. We here put the ID and the ID associate, the source of the requirement. Here we describe the requirements, then the business model operation goals, and the goals, which is an external. And here we have the project objectives, which is internal. After that, we have WBS, product design, project development, and test cases. In the first requirement, the source was the owner. which is for in our case Dr. Saeed. The requirements was use BMB process. The business model operation goals was approval of the market requirements, and the project objective was best practice for the WBS and the others. My colleague Sameer will discuss it in the end of this presentation in details. Here, second, we have employees, which in our case is me and my colleagues. The requirement was max the quality. The business model operation and goals was being attached with the market. The project objectives was get experience. Third, we have government, which in our case is King Abdulaziz University. Their requirements was university getting along with the university rules and institution. The business model operation goals is benefit the university ranking in the world universities, and the project objective was get approved that the product will get approved. We have another requirement which also by the owner, which was a low price. The business, the operation goals that was a benefit was everybody can use it, which we get started in project objectives, high sales. Before the end, they have the employees had another requirement is available materials. The goals that was low production risks, and the project objectives was easy to do. Here, finally have your owner requirements description was safe to be the product should be safe. The reason for that, the goal of that is not having problems with customers. Next, we'll go with my colleague Faris.
Hello, good evening or morning, everyone. I'm Faris Alghamdi, member 1 in Blue Team. Thank you, Yazeed, for introducing us. Today, inshallah, I will discuss about two things. I think it's important for our life and our professional project. First, compare between scope statement and project charter. Inshallah, today I will compare between what is scope statement or project scope statement and project charter, and I will give you the difference between these two things to understand perfectly project scope statement and project charter. And the second, I will give you the example in the about define scope statement. I will give example how to define scope statement. Before when me and my teammate wrote the example for project charter, now we do the define scope statement about the example. First, let's talk about project charter to understand it perfectly and show what and then let's talk about project scope statement. Then we will show the difference between these two things. First, project charter. It's a project proposed and for objective and related case criteria. Project charter, you should have high level requirement. It's a birthday. I think it's a birthday about your project. And 5, overall project risk. 6, summary about schedule. And 7, previewed resources and key stakeholder list. And 9, project approval requirement. 10, project exit criteria. And finally, name and name of the sponsor. That's about the project charter. Sorry. These 12 things must be in project charter to give the customer professional project charter to see what is your project in detail, inshallah. Next slide. Here, let's talk about what's the input of project charter and what the tools and methods in this input to get the output. First, the input of project charter, business document. Business document here include the business case. I know it's talk. Me and my teammate talk this before, but I will repeat it now to to define what the difference between project charter and project scope statement. First, what I see, business document. Here in business document include business case and benefit about management plan. You must have this in input. And second, agreement. Third, factors surrounding the project. Four, enterprise operational assist. And the tools and method of input to get the output. Consult an expert. Have you won't have this data gathering, for example, brainstorming, interviews, and Dr. Saeed tell us about what's the difference between brainstorming and interviews, and third, thermic groups, and third, interpersonal and team skills. You should have team skills and interpersonal. First, conflict management, and include this business managing meeting and business, and finally for its meetings. And if we do the tools and method in this input, you'll get two things about output: project charter and assuming luck. And now we finish about project charter and what is the project charter and the details about this. Now let's talk about project scope statement. Next slide, please. Next slide. Project scope statement. We have in this project scope statement seven things. I think it's important to get project scope statement. First, you must have objectives. You must have the goal. What's the goal about your project scope statement? And second, you must have a project scope description. What your description in your scope? In your scope, as you see here, it builds on the top of context from project charter and requirement documentation. Documentation what you do, Yazeed, before. And third, product criteria. What is your except for this project scope statement, and for project deliverables. And here in this deliverables, we have two types of deliverables. One direct, and two direct output from the project, such as the product, service, or result. And second, additional outcomes such as all plan, report, change request, performance matrix, and other documents. And sorry, and project out project or out of scope here. It's very important. You should know what the out of the scope, because to see our and stakeholders and customer what out of the scope and what in the scope. And project constraint, as you see in Arabic, محددات المشروع. It's important for to do project scope statement. And finally, افتراضات المشروع, it's the meaning project assume of the project. It's any and all assuming made with respect to the scope. what is happening maybe in the future in this project. You must put it in your mind all the assuming in this project. And this fourth thing, product scope description, except for project criteria, project deliverables, and project exclusions. Is this four is the important of project scope statement. And next slide, Samir. And here we have like project charter, we have input and project scope statement, and also we have a tool or techniques for this to get the output. The input of the project scope statement first, project charter, as we told before, what is a project and how we do the project and why it's important for our project. Two, project management plan. Now we do scope management plan. Third, a project document, and we have a requirement and the risk and include of the project document. Fourth, enterprise environmental factors. Five, process assist. And the tools or techniques in this input to get the output, expert judgment, and we talked before about this, data analysis. You must have alternative analysis for this, decision making, multi-criteria decision analysis include for decision making, interpersonal and team skills. You have facilitation for this, and five, product analysis. If we do this five things in tools or techniques, you will get this output. First, you will get project scope statement. It's very important. Second, you'll get project scope updates, specification log requirement, the documentation, the requirement matrix. There's two things. What the Yazeed talked about it, and details about this. And finally, stakeholder register. And second slide, Sameer. Here's a graph. I think it's nice graph to see what the difference between project charter and project scope statement, and what we'll do in WBS, what Sameer will explain it, inshallah. Here, project charter, as you see in the box here, we have project description and goals and business case. You must have high level requirement and assumption and constraints and high level risk and deliverables final stakeholder. If you see high level requirement and deliverables and stakeholders and requirement traceability matrix, all these four things is defined what is requirement, is defined what is, and this you will see what is project scope statement. We see also in the project scope statement in the box, we have a project scope description, a description of deliverables, criteria, and project exclusion. These four things I told you before two slides. These four things it's important for project scope statement. And then we move to our in the project description and project final result here in the up. We remove to final result and make criteria for this. What is level 1, 2, 3, and make the graph for this or something like that. Yeah, and this I think it's good graph to see what the difference between project scope statement and project charter, and what's the benefit for these two things, and what is important for project scope statement in the box, and what is the important for project charter. Let's go next slide, Sameer. Here, what we do, me and my teammate, for what is this example for project charter. Just now, I will see the difference between project charter and the difference between project scope statement, because that I put here the example for project charter to see the different about it. And let's go to next slide, Samir. There have a project scope statement. There is the example. You must have project title and what is the project leader and details for project. You have here 7 things I talked before. A project aim, project objective, and you hear out of the scope and details about the benefit and research and exciting project and equality and diversity. And this 7 things you must have, I will talk before in your project scope statement, and this is the example about it. We do before we do me and my teammate what my teammate what's the project aim and what's the project objective, and we write it everything about our project. But here I will show you the example in general to understand what it, because here for example project objective detail what will be delivered as a result for the project, for example software system to record the performance. And out of scope, what's the out of scope I told you before, detail what will not be delivered as a part of the project. And statement. Thank you for listening. Let's go, Samir.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Sameer Almarghalani. I want to thank my friend Faris. Okay, now let's begin with the work breakdown structure, WBS. Basically, it's from its name. That means you will break down all the tasks that you have in your project. Okay, and we will use 2 methods for a breakdown structure. The first one in MS project, and the second one for breakdown chart pro. So we have 2 programs that you will use it today. So let's begin. I will explain how we did this chart. Then we will go to WBS Dictionary, and I will also explain how we did this Excel sheet. We use, of course, Excel sheet for doing the work breakdown dictionary. And I will explain the first column, which is the WBS, the code where I got it, and the task name also, and the WBS here, the description for the task over here. Okay, so let's move on to explain first in the MS project. In MS project, yeah. So I had Excel sheet. MS project. Okay, as you see here from an Excel sheet, okay, we have all the tasks that we did before in the previous video. Okay, all the tasks. Okay, we finished the first 2, the develop project chart and identify stakeholders. So we will do it. We will do today the breakdown structure. So you will go to project WBS and enter to define code. In define code, you will see here the code preview. Here the code that it will show that in the right column in MS project. I will explain more and you will see it clear. And the project code prefix, that your shortcut of your project, you can write it here. Any name you want your project name start with. Okay. Here the important part, which is the sequence. If you want your project name start with a number, you can enter only numbers, or you want uppercase letter, you have a lowercase letter, and you have characters. Any choice you can select from here, okay? And about the levels, that means the levels that you have, how many summary tasks do you have in your project? For example, for us, we have 5: the initiation process, the planning process, and we have the executing process, and we have the monitoring and controlling process, and the last we have the closing process. For the length, that means how many digits do you want for your project, okay? And for the separator, that means if you want comma, dash, plus, any kind of separator, okay? So you will apply it, okay, after you finish all this information. Okay. And as you see here, there is nothing change in the dashboard. So you will go to the here. Let's begin from start. Yes, this the dashboard you will have. Okay, if you want the WBS column, you will enter here, insert column, then you write WBS, and you will choose the first one. Here, as you see, the code for your project, or exactly the code for your task. For example, here there's the snake blocker, the name of the project. You will see the PMP, the prefix that you write it, and the number of your project. Okay, and for the first summary task, it will begin with PMP01 dot as the separator that I choose, then 01, which is the first summary task, then the subtask, which will be 0101.01. Okay, all this code that we will use it in Excel sheet for the WBS dictionary. Okay, that here I think we finished from the WBS in MS project. Now let's move to another program that we will use to do the breakdown structure, which is the breakdown schedule brawl. Okay, because I have a demo version, this message will be appear now. Okay. Here in this program, we have it's specialized for breakdown structure. Okay, from the right, from the left side, we have all the chart that you have in this program. For example, WBS view and WBS planning view, which is the best graph that you have in this program, and it's very simple to read. Okay, then we have here the tasks. Okay, and for the toolbars, you have the option which is insert the task, the new task, and you can delete it from here. And I will explain this next. Okay, for our project, I did one before this video. Okay, let's open it. This, okay. Here, as you see, our project, which we did on it, the breakdown structure. Okay, first thing we did insert the box from here. We enter task. Okay, no, not here. Okay, after that we did insert task under the summary task. Okay, now let's move for here the new task, which is we will insert above the summary task. Okay, here the summary task, as you see, write it here, summary task. Then you have down where is it, the task. Okay, we have in the breakdown structure 5 summary tasks, so we will apply 5 box. Okay, as you see here, 5 box for the summary tasks that we have in MS project. Okay, then we will apply after that the sub task. Okay, but first let's move to perfect view for the WBS. Okay, here you will see the task in a vertical line, okay, and here which is the horizontal, which is the best for this option now. Okay, we will enter the subtask for the first summary task, and we have two, as you see here. The initiation process, we have two subtasks. Okay, so here two, and for the planning process, we have 15. This is the benefit of the code WBS and MS project. You can know how many tasks in each summary task. Okay, so we have here 15. So we will apply 15 box under the planning process. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 15. All okay. We can rearrange it so that it can fit in all dashboard. Okay. Like this, we make a little space in your screen. So let's move to the third summary task, which is the executing. Executing, we have 7 subtasks. So we will apply 7 box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 subtask. Okay, let's rearrange it. All what I did now, I'm doing now to make a space in your screen. If you don't want, can't. It's not necessary to do it. Okay. Now for the last, which we have the mentoring, which we have 10 subtasks. Okay. Go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and you will also rearrange it. So let's be quick. Here the last one, which is the closing, and we have only 1 subtask. Okay, so I want now to write the name of the summary subtask. You just click on it, and you will see the red box and enter anything you want. Okay, and exactly for the also for the sub task, you just click on it, and you will see the red box, and you can also write anything on it. Like I did here, I write the name of the project. Then I have the summary task, which is the initiation, the planning, the executing, the mentoring, and the controlling, and the closing. And below all this summary, we have the subtask that belong to the summary task. And for the initiation, we have the develop project charter and identify stakeholders. And for the planning, we have the develop project management plan, create WBS, all the tasks that we did in MS project. And for executing as well, we have all the subtasks here. So I want now to change the chart. Okay, I can have this chart, for example. Okay, and also we have a beautiful chart, which is the WBS chart view details, like this, as you see here.
Nice.
Sorry.
Nice, I see.
Thank you. Right. As you see here, the name of the project, the snake blocker. Okay, here the ID for the same task. The first task, which will be already first one. Okay, here the rotation for the project, you can't change it. Okay, sorry. Okay, you can change it here, and also the date of the project, you can change it. And if you want to view or present the cost of the project, you can also choose this graph. Okay, here you will see the hours, how many hours did you work on your project, or any task that you have, and the cost, how many dollars that you spend. For example, for initiation, we spend almost, for example, I said for $40. Okay, and for the develop project charter, we spend $20. And for the identify stakeholders, okay, $20 also. And how many hours did we did for this task? Around we can say 6 hours for this task, and for the identify stakeholders around 5 hours. Anything you did in your project, you can apply it here. Okay. Okay. What is the red numbers over here? Okay. The red number over here is the code for the WBS. Is the same code for that we did in project MS project. As you see here, the BMB 01101. Okay, is the same code. But yes, the same code. The next thing that we have for the last thing for this program, let's move it. Yeah, the expand and collapse option. If you want to present the specific task, you can just click on this option, which is the minus and positive sign. Okay, to minimize the short length. Okay, so you can see anything in your in the program. Okay, so for example, if I want only see the monitoring and controlling subtask, I can only minimize it, and it will be very clear and easy to read. Okay, so now let's keep on and move to the last thing in our presentation, which is the WBS Dictionary. You can do it in different program if you want. I did it in Excel sheet. You can also do it in Word and also in MS, but I choose Excel sheet. It is easy to use more than other program. Okay, so let's move to the Excel sheet here. For the Excel sheet, what I did, it's very simple. I took only the first column in the MS project, which is the WBS code. As you see here, the code that I took from the MS, okay, and the task name of the WBS NMS program. Then we describe every task and summary and subtask, in our project. For example, the develop project charter. What we will do in WBS is just define the task that we have. Okay, the process for the task develop project charter and the description for it. Process of developing a document that formally authorizes the existence of the project and provides the project manager. For example, WBS, we have the special use a special program for to do work breakdown structure for the project. Okay, for example, if you see the plan risk management, we have the risk management activities we will be conducting on the project. So this is the useful for the breakdown structure, is to describe the task that you have, so you can do it easily and understand. You will understand the task easily. And that's all for our presentation. I would like to thank you guys. Thank to my friends, and see you soon, inshallah. Thank you.